Google has announced their Black Friday sales in the ever-present race for retailers and manufacturers to announce earlier and earlier their Black Friday deals. You're going to see them at Valentine's Day next year, but nevertheless, Samsung is going to be doing it. I'm sure Apple's going to take their usual $10 off their products for Black Friday. Might be $30. All right, let's give them some credit. Might be $30. But Google, to their credit, has some impressive ones on lots of devices. One noticeably absent device, which we'll talk about, but the ones that they have listed are mighty impressive. The Google Pixel 7 Pro is going to come in at $749. The Pixel 6a, which was $299 already and then raised back, at least on the Google store. Some retailers, I believe, kept the stock at $299, and maybe some carriers as well, but most people are going to be able to get it again on Black Friday for $299. And the headliner to me is going to be, again, that Google Pixel 7, $499, in the ever-advancing effort by Google to, I guess, slash prices. I mean, a lot of times they're so aggressive with it. Right after, less than a month after the phone came out, in the case of the 7 Pro and the 7, then you're almost like, well, if you got it on release, boy, gee, what are they doing to you? Cutting it that much. But at the same time, you could see their strategy there. They know they got it. They did it last year. They have a platform they're going to be keeping for a few years. They want Pixels in people's hands. This only works if people buy Pixels and start getting used to Pixel. And every 2 years, they're not looking for a Samsung or an iPhone or anything like that. They're looking for another Pixel. So the way you do that, get people using Pixels, and aggressive prices are a great way to do that. We're going to talk about each of these and what I think of them both at the sale prices. The one thing you're saying, well, that's a great strategy, Google. You got your nice low price, you get some adoption, you get some market share up, you get people excited and trying your products. Well, there's one product that doesn't apply to, at least in the announced sales that I saw on the Google store, and that's the Pixel Watch. No sale listed. They had everything listed. They had the Nest products listed. They had the Google Buds products listed. Sales on everything, aggressive sales up and down the line. But mum was the word on the Pixel Watch, and that's the one that I was the most excited to see what the Black Friday sale would be. This, to me, is the one that needs that Black Friday sale, something to get people the incentive to put it on their wrist. Now, right now, that's not the case, at least here in the United States. I know they have some deals overseas, but Black Friday, still going to be $349, still going to be $399 when you talk about the LTE version. Not going to do it. We're going to talk about a fuller review of this tomorrow or the next day when I compare it to other wristwatches. I'm going to try to take a different take on it because I do believe it deserves that. I don't believe it should be put in the category with every other smartwatch because they are trying to do something a little bit different in terms of aesthetics. But the bottom line is that you release a smartwatch, it still has to function as a smartwatch. And there are things that fall short here that make it worth more $249 to me to be comfortable suggesting it for people to go ahead and pick up. $249, this is a steal. That's what I was hoping to see, at least $299 on Black Friday. I understand that the thing just came out, but this phone just came out too, and they're pretty aggressive in slashing prices. But let's talk about the Pixel deals, because that's what a lot of people are going to be here for. 7 Pro at $749. If you're somebody who needs that big display, who likes that telephoto lens, you can't live without 2K on your phone, and that 120 hertz, which is a lot of people that believe phones shouldn't exist unless they have at least 90 hertz. So if you're a hertz snob and you just absolutely need it, $749 is an aggressive price. Because for the difference in price between this and the S22 Ultra, you're getting a heck of a lot. And when you reduce the new price down to, what is it, $350, $450 difference, depending on the configuration of the S22 Ultra that you get, this becomes really nice. And are there differences? Yeah, there are. I got a video on it. I'll link it at the end of the description. The screen is slightly better on the S22 Ultra. There's some other things in there that I like a little bit better on the S22 Ultra. But if you're telling me I'm going to save $450 and get it new in box less than a month after the device came out, I'm suddenly not going to care about that screen so much. That's just me. You know, it's different for everybody, but I'm suddenly going to be okay with this display because it's a nice display. There's nothing wrong with it. I just like the S22 Ultra one a little bit better. But $749, if you need that top-of-the-line phone, if you're looking for a top-of-the-line flagship, that's a steal. And the real steal is the 7 at $499. Again this year. They did that later in the year with the Pixel 6, and it basically broke the market on smartphones because it was that good of a deal. And that was in the shape the Pixel 6 was then. The Pixel 7 is in much better shape than the 6 was last year. So at $499 already, that should be a major run. Don't walk when you're talking Black Friday sales. Pick yourself up a Pixel 7. I'm telling you, whatever it is, a lot of people like the white one over the lemongrass. That's fine. Get yourself a white Pixel 7, $499, and you are set for several years to come at a phenomenal price. And if you don't care about resolution, if you're okay with 1080p 90 hertz, which is not exactly a slug, and you're okay with a slightly smaller display, which is nice in the hand, by the way. It's nice to have a 6.4-inch display again, and you don't have to compete with all these other phones. Then that's a phone that's going to go almost pound for pound performance-wise with every top flagship you've got today. Is it better than them? Is it on the same par as that? No. It's a little bit slower. It does a little bit less, but who cares? You're never going to come close to that ceiling anyway. So for $499, pick it up and be happy. And then the one that is the deal of the year on any of these devices, and one that people should pick, it actually stops you, when you think about it, from recommending other phones at 2 and even 3 times the price, and really calls into question why we need a lot of this power on these phones anyway. And every time I do a video on the Pixel 6a, I get a lot of the same comments saying I will never need a top-tier $1,000 flagship ever again, and I 100% get that. 100%. At $299, 6.1-inch display, the plastic, you get the metal frame, okay, plastic back, which is fine. Personally, that just means I get to enjoy the design of the phone. I don't have to carry it around with a case. I like this camera hump design better than the other one. I like last year's camera hump design, which is what the 6a has. Camera's going to be that Google Pixel camera. Yeah, you get the older lenses. Yeah, who cares? You're still getting Tensor powering your computational photography, which everything's going to find there. You get all the pixel extras. You get them running on an OLED 1080p display. Don't care about the 60 hertz. Doesn't bother me for $299. You're getting 6 gigs of RAM. You're getting everything that you're going to need in this. If you're a Pixel fan and you're going to get it at a price that's phenomenal, we're going to break that down to by the time you're done with this phone, if you keep it all the way till it's the end of its usefulness, you're talking on the par of, what, $60 a year? If you keep it for 5 years for a phone, break that out in terms of what you've paid in the past few years for smartphones. It becomes ridiculous value for money. And that's what Google's trying to do at this level with the Pixels. That's what they're trying to do with their smartphone line. I think it's a good idea. I think it forgives some of the things that they do phone-wise. So if you're coming in with performance that's close enough now on the 7 Pro, where there's not the disaster that last year was, they're giving good software updates. Everything's running fine. I haven't noticed any huge problems on this device. That's great. Now you could get these at phenomenal prices so early after release in the case of the 7, and then again with the $299 on the 6A. That's really just silly. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have the Steve-licious day.